What is up, everybody? And welcome to another episode of The Unusual Suspects. I am sitting here with my cast of Unusuals. We got David Frei in the house. We got Shane Devine, because he is. We got Umberto. I don't want to say his last name because he's the artist formerly known as Umberto. We have Rob Garjul in the house. Guys, we have so many good stories. Like, I don't get that excited for shows, but like when I saw everybody give me their ideas and their stories, I was like, we might get canceled. And I was like, that's how we do it. And what's the first thing that we talked about? When I was just like, we're on the radar of, like, if they ever come down on us, they know, Dave.
I think the term was unemployable by standard principles of employers. Did you put that tweet out a little while ago where you said X, Y, and Z, and you're like, yep, I'm unemployable now?
I'm that guy, because, I mean, they know who we are. And Shane, like, you're baptized in, you're baptized in now, and guess what? Doesn't it feel liberating? Like, I feel like Neo from the Matrix.
100%.
Doesn't it? Rob, do you even know what the hell we're talking about?
I got warrants, so I'm trying to be quiet.
But, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you we're at 10,000.
10,000
subscribers. I appreciate you guys. I salute all you guys. I'm going to do a rundown of the stories, and then we'll just get right into it. Rob is going to talk about a mass distraction involving Trump, which is great. Shane's going to talk about some doomsday shit that scares the hell out of everybody. Dave's going to talk about some Palestinian protesters acting nuts. You're going to go gay.
Someone has to do it, dude.
You're going to go gay with some...
but a 50-50, dude.
People are shooting videos. They're going viral on all over the internet because they're shooting stuff in Senate.
I have puns for days, dude.
Okay, good. And I'm going to be talking about some crazy stuff that I saw online about Etsy and how it's relating to, Pizzagate, and it's just we have a lot to talk about. But like I said, we'll get right into it. We're gonna go to the first story. Rob, I saw the news yesterday. Trump, Colorado. What the hell's going on? I know you have a bunch of other stories to follow. Talk to us.
It was a very interesting day in the news. Shane, you follow the news because you write it for BT.com.
That's right.
Tell me what stories you covered yesterday.
Yesterday, the EU did a probe into Elon Musk. The Epstein documents are being unsealed in early January. Trump getting taken off the ballot in Colorado. There are a few others, but...
Okay, two of the three you named that I have here. Big stories. The first one, Trump, obviously.
Trump.
Yesterday, a divided Colorado Supreme Court declared former President Donald Trump ineligible for the White House under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause and removed him from the state's presidential primary ballot. The decision from a court whose justices, and this is from the AP, were all appointed by Democratic governors, marks the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. Now, it wasn't a unanimous decision. It was a 4-3 decision. What do you guys know about the Insurrection Act?
What's it? No, I don't know about the Insurrection Act. Go ahead.
According to this, where is it? The Section 3 was designed to keep former Confederates from returning to the government following the Civil War. It bars anyone from it bars from office anyone who swore an oath to support the Constitution and then engaged in insurrection or rebellion against it. And it has only been used a handful of times since the Civil War. It's a big deal to remove him from the presidential ballot, but they even say in this article he lost Colorado during the 2016 election and still won. He doesn't need it, but it sets a dangerous precedent for other courts in the country to then follow suit.
So just two things also to clarify that. They have declared him ineligible because of the disqualification under Article 14, subparagraph 3, or Section 3, but they didn't remove him from the ballot. They stayed their own decision until January 4th, which is the day before the names are supposed to be printed on the ballot. And if he appeals to the Supreme Court, their court order is going to be stayed indefinitely pending adjudication by the Supreme Court. So what they've done is actually just issued a ridiculous judgment that they themselves have stayed, which is just going to make headlines for days and might be the first domino that starts falling in other states saying, well, now we've got our hook to hang our hat on, so we can do the same thing here.
Maine is going to
Maine, there's Minnesota. There's New Mexico, I want to say.
A few states already have done cases like this, and their Supreme Court shot them down.
Yes, I have that. The Colorado ruling stands in contrast with the Minnesota Supreme Court, which last month decided that the state party can put anyone it wants on its primary ballot and dismissed Section 3 of the lawsuit. They said that the plaintiffs could try again during the general election. In another 14th Amendment case, a Michigan judge ruled that Congress, not the judiciary, should decide whether Trump can stay on the ballot. So there's precedent against this. Can this set precedent for it?
By all accounts, the most ridiculous decision ever. I've read through it now. I haven't read through the dissent, but you mentioned that, it's 7 Democrat-appointed Democrat judges, and yet 3 of them had a very powerful dissent to say this is not any form of justice or any form of America that I ever knew. So even with 7 Democrat, highly partisan justices, 3 still said this is an outrage.
The Chief Justice himself wrote a dissenting opinion simply stating, well, he has not been convicted of insurrection. So how can this apply to him?
So how can you ban him or attempt to ban him from the ballot for something he hasn't been convicted for in a court of law?
It's a kangaroo court. It's like unbelievable, unprecedented. And the fact that, the right is kind of pissed off. If you are a Democrat, shouldn't this be... you should take a step back, get your foot out of your ass, because I'm tired of this left-right BS. Look at what they're doing with the law because it's an opposition. It's called cheating. I hate when I hear, what's it called, Umberto, when they they got rid of cheating? It's called election interference. No. You're actively cheating because dude, if there's a horse that's in first place and it's getting the lead and you start shooting shit in its leg, you're cheating, bro. You're making you're putting obstacles in front of the horse. You're cheating.
As the only suspect that comes from a banana republic, this is too far. I literally come from South America. They don't even do this there. It's absolutely freaking
Did you say you allegedly come from South America?
Yeah, allegedly come from South America.
Nobody knows where the hell he's from.
Keep him off the track.
Yeah. What are we talking about? He's leading the polls, by far. Everyone loves the guy. They tried the insurrection thing. The whole country doesn't believe the insurrection thing, and they're getting him done to get him out of the race. Yeah. Now, I don't mean to ruin next thing if we're going to talk reactions. I think Vivek Ramaswamy was an absolute Chad, super based.
What did he say? What was that? What did he say? I saw the video today.
Well, the guy came out. He was like, if they're not gonna have Trump running Colorado, take me out of the ballot too. And it was immediate. The news came out, and he came out with the statement right away. Most of the time in politics, you get people to try the water, test it. We should wait it out, see how they react.
This was minutes, right?
Minutes.
Vivek on stage, reflexively, when they said, are you going to support him even if he's indicted? He was the first one up, and he was looking around left and right to shame the others
100%.
who did it. One thing, though, just to mention, he hasn't been convicted of insurrection. Nobody has been charged with insurrection.
It's not a thing.
And so the way the majority creative motivated judges there got around it, well, they say, okay, he hasn't been charged with or convicted of. Nobody has. So we're going to take insurrection in a dictionary sense of rising against a government. They have bypassed the criminal element that would be required for insurrection as a crime, and then just gone with a colloquial version to then fabricate the fact that he did it, that he could be subjected to Article 14, subparagraph 3, which he shouldn't be under the law. It's nuts.
And isn't it?
Can we go deeper on the definition of this? Most of right-leaning people, they have guns, okay? Yeah. And if they want to throw over the government, wouldn't they brought their air,
Everybody would have been armed.
Everyone be armed. How can you have an insurrection without a plan? An insurrection to throw over the government. They're just sitting there. Yeah. They had a tour.
I know. And by the way, that's why it's scary because, we're a country of laws, and that's what makes us different from all these other countries because we have the checks and balances. But this is when these sons of bitches use the law because, bro, I'm one of those losers, Dave. Rob, I watch all those House Judiciary hearings and all that shit from Hillary from Benghazi. Everybody's a lawyer, and they're professional bullshit artists that know how to weasel and weave, not answer questions. But, bro, if you know the law, you could bend that shit to where it starts to crack and still get away with it. And I think that's the beauty of it. And that's to my point is say what you want. And this is for everybody out there, too. Talk as much shit. If you're a Republican, be pissed off. If you're independent, be pissed off at what they're doing. But guess what? You got to tip your hat to the Democrats. We talked about it earlier. Tip your freaking hats because these sons of bitches play to win. And look at their strategy. Can I break it down? 2016, they cheated. The DNC Hillary Clinton, Russia, collusion with the FBI, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, all those pieces of shit. James Comey,
the insurance policy.
The insurance policy, exactly. All of them, all those guys, they didn't get away with it. For 4 years, we had to get dragged. The country was in shambles. People, relationships, family members weren't talking to each other. Dragged us into shit. Cut to 2020. They cheated again. They had the FBI again working for them at fucking Twitter, shielding all these stories. No Hunter stories, no Biden, none of that story. Which again, guys, election interference. It's called cheating. Let's all say it together. Cheating. It's cheating. Okay, with COVID, keep everybody home. Vote from home. Then cut to January 6th. They know it's going to happen. Chief of Police Stephen's son gets all the warnings, right, David? All the warnings. He's like, listen, they're giving death threats to my police officers. I want the National Guard. And this is months before. Denied. Then you had all them shooting tear gas, rubber bullets, Ray Epps inciting a riot. And then now, look at where we are. Say what you want, and they're using it to take out Trump. Brilliant, conniving, evil bastards, and I take my hat off to the Democrats.
There was one thing in the judgment. I don't think the judges realized what they recognized, but well into the judgment of the majority decision, they say how the FBI was receiving tips and threats well in advance, and then they blame it on Trump and say that he didn't respond because he was supervising these federal agencies. FBI was receiving tips that there was going to be a slew of people there that were going to overwhelm the police, and they didn't do anything.
So would you call that an intelligence failure?
It's an intelligence success. Is what it is. It's an intelligence success.
It's an intelligence ignoring, whatever the hell you want to call it. But dude, it's like, I was in a group text yesterday with my cousin that goes, oh, so you mean to tell me, because this went down and all the group chats start blowing up, oh, you mean to tell me he didn't tell them to, I go, when did President Trump say go and burn the bitch down? And again, every stupid, all these people died. Who died? Where's the insurrection?
Ashley Babbitt shot point blank by Bird.
Shot in the neck.
Roseanne Boyland, who they said died of a drug overdose. That is because they counted her Adderall prescription as a drug. She was, by all accounts, beaten to death.
100% beaten
Brian
to death.
Sicknick, who they said was killed by the Trump. He had a stroke. And then who else? There were some other medical emergencies, and then a number of cops that committed suicide, which is also very tragic.
Suspicious. But I mean, they might have known some stuff that they don't want them to talk. Some other guy that worked with Chief's son died mysteriously. But you nailed it. An insurrection. This is what the left is brilliant at doing, Trump. An insurrection meaning guns. They went there like in Batman. What was the Batman with Bane? Well, Rob, where they have their own Congress, their own. None of that happened.
You describe, I don't know, like anarchy, like burning down stores, rioting, looting. That would be more
police stations, court.
Burning churches.
Right? Like, to me, that would be
an autonomous
insurrection.
zone.
Yeah, an autonomous zone, dude. You understand what an autonomous zone means? Somebody's somebody's building like a base here. We don't do that, but the fact that it was Portland and they were like, whatever. Anyway, but Rob, go ahead.
One second. Can I talk to our YouTube overlords?
Yeah, go ahead.
Vinny said election cheating, not election fraud, because like the guidelines of YouTube policy say you can't talk about fraud, but you can talk about cheating.
I thought they revised them that you could.
They revised them, but fraud's still not allowed. And to preface
I would
this
never
story,
say fraud.
He is talking about speculation about the COVID virus. Ask your doctor. This is not medical information.
Yeah, Rob, go to your next story.
That's not my next story. My next story was the Epstein document.
Okay.
Oh, on the lighter side of things.
On the lighter side of things. YouTube loves this.
Judge orders release of over 150 names of people mentioned in the Jeffrey Epstein lawsuit documents. I'm pretty sure you guys are all aware.
And when's this coming out, Robbie?
Well, it's not supposed to come out. They have 14 days from yesterday, so January 1st to appeal the order. But if you heard the story...
But think about that.
What's
just
that?
Real quick. They are giving people 2 weeks to appeal, as in... Hey, if you're going to be named in these documents and you want out, let us know before then.
Wait.
I didn't know they had 2 weeks to appeal. Let me call my lawyer.
I'm going to get the hell off of that.
But here's the thing. According to even the judge in this case, Judge Loretta A. Preska, for several years, she has reviewed the documents sought by the Miami Herald from a civil case filed by one of Epstein's victims that was eventually settled. Many of the records that are slated to be released are from that lawsuit. Most of the people who are going to be named over 150 people, they've already been named. They've already given media interviews, or their names had previously emerged publicly in various ways. So it's a nothing burger. It's this whole
nothing.
big story. Both of these, to me, are nothing burgers. It's wrong. Don't get me wrong, but nothing's going to come of this. Like you said, they have until January 5th to appeal the decision.
It's going to be stayed indefinitely.
And we talked today with Emily
Wilson.
No.
Wait, no. What was her
Emily
last
Austin.
Emily Austin.
And
Well,
Emily
Climate
Austin
laws.
said, well, what if people just started writing Trump's name in? Would that make an effect? Would that change? Could people in Colorado, instead of going in and voting because he won't be on the
No,
primary?
they ruled that. They specified that
you
is
can't
not allowed.
do that,
yes,
too?
yep.
You can't.
It said that in the fine print, yeah.
But he doesn't need to win Colorado to win the presidential
It's also
election.
going to get struck down by the Supreme Court.
So,
there's
nothing burger.
Nothing burger.
Nothing burger.
But why?
So why would they put two huge nothing burgers
Those are big
out
nothing.
yesterday?
Okay.
Because this story also came out. Okay. Is this the smoking gun for the COVID lab leak? A blueprint for creating a SARS-CoV virus with an altered spike protein in Wuhan was published in 2018. This according to bombshell new records that were obtained by a Freedom of Information request. A newly uncovered trove of documents detailing plans to create a COVID-like virus in China months before the pandemic make the lab leak almost certain, experts say.
We're still, oh my God, keep going, Rob, because that just drives me nuts.
The records lay out a plan to engineer spike proteins to infect human cells that would then be inserted in the SARS-CoV backbones at the infamous Wuhan virology lab from December of 2018. Just a year later, COVID ends up becoming a global pandemic. The proposal was made by the EcoHealth Alliance, a New York nonprofit.
Who funded that?
Who funded the EcoHealth? Sounds like
U.S. government grants abroad to fund these types of experiments. The application was ultimately denied by the Department of Defense, but critics say the plans laid out in the proposal the plans laid out in the proposal serve as a blueprint for how to create COVID.
Do you know what's amazing? The article says it got refused by the DOD at the end of the day, much like Operation Northwoods got refused by, was proposed by the DOD, refused by JFK, and then, you have something 2 decades later that oddly resembles the same plan of Operation Northwoods. 2 years later, you get COVID at a very convenient time to oust Trump.
Oh, dude, again.
It's nuts. It's
How
nuts.
amazing are they, though, bro? And Rob, I didn't, when you said this, when you pulled out I remember this morning, I'm like, Rob, isn't it kind of weird? Epstein, nothing, whatever. The other story, what was the other one?
Trump.
Trump, big.
It's disgusting, but nothing's going to eventually come of it.
But guess what, though? It's the shock factor. When I saw it, when everybody saw it, I'm not going to lie to you. Right when I saw it, and Pat, we all started texting, I messaged Roger Stone. I go, what does this mean? He goes, nothing. He goes, it's absolutely nothing. So it's, and dude, they're all, mainstream media, they're all in cahoots with each other.
I'd say it's not nothing. Holiday season, people are generally despaired and distressed during the holiday season in general. You drop that bomb on them.
It's really bum them out.
No, what I mean, it's like they are trying to trigger people into a January 6th 2.0 by leading people into the pits of despair to say, now we're taking them off the ballot. How's that for a little act of provocation? And they want people to snap. So I say, nobody snap and nobody overreact to it, because at the end of the day, it's stayed and it'll stay indefinitely. So don't overreact, because that's what they want.
Yeah.
The Epstein, man, all you need is one big name on there that hasn't been disclosed, and that'll be a bombshell. So.
You don't think their publicists will get that notification? They have 14 days to appeal. No, yeah, fuck it. We'll let it go out.
And it just drives me nuts, too, because, Rob, I think you covered this a couple weeks ago, the Dick Durbin guy. Why would anybody try to subpoena to keep these, are we at the point where we want to, listen, once he was a pedophile on record, who was going there? Find all the people that were working there. What did you see? What happened? But Ghislaine Maxwell, you notice how we haven't heard shit? She knows everything. Why aren't we talking to her? She's just in prison, sitting there. Could we talk to her? Anybody? Grab that.
We tried. We did. We tried. We reached out to her. I was in touch with her attorneys about trying to get an interview with her. And they put the kibosh.
You know what they said? We want her to live a little bit longer.
Or they might have said, we want you to live a little longer. You don't want that.
Never mind. I never sent that email.
Rob, finish your story. I'm sorry.
It's just interesting because you even mentioned the Department of Defense declining the...
No, they proposed it. It was JFK who
But the Department of Defense struck this one down. And part of this, they lied when they put the proposal together. They wanted to do this. The documents show the experiments were proposed to take place at the Wuhan Virology Lab or Institute, which has fewer safety precautions for working with pandemic potential specimens than the United States does. This was advertised to the Department of Defense by doing this in Wuhan instead of the U.S. as a cost-saving measure. But what they say is the edited version of the proposal, U.S. researchers would have freaked out if they had found out that the COVID engineering was done at a bio-level 2 lab instead of a bio-level 3, which in the United States it has to be. So even when they put this bullshit program together and pitched it, they lied to the Department of Defense to try and get it passed. And even then the Department of Defense was like, that's too crazy. No, we're not going to allow it.
Didn't they lie partially because I thought it was illegal to do the gain-of-function research in America, which is why they were outsourcing it. I thought Obama had outlawed it,
100%.
and this was a way to circumvent it to take it to Wuhan.
Possibly. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I can only speak to what the Daily Mail reported. So,
but
I know that people have their mixed reviews of the Daily Mail, whether they're a credible news source or not. This is one of the only news sources that I saw covering
Daily
this
Mail's
yesterday.
been getting some good ones lately.
So that's why it just made me go, is this a mass distraction? Is everything else that they're trying to distract us with? 150 names, most of which you've probably already heard. Trump not going to be on the ballot, doesn't need to be, probably won't stick anyway. Is that all just coming out to distract you from reading more into this, the COVID-19 virus and its origins? And a question that I have for you guys, who do you think should be held accountable for this? Is it
for all this?
Because for COVID? Let's stick to COVID.
Okay.
The United States government?
Yep.
The Chinese government. If this was a gain-of-function engineered virus that was done in the Wuhan lab, it was funded by it would
Fauci,
be funded by the Eco Health Alliance. According to this proposal, they get money from the United States government. So is the government of our government responsible for the COVID pandemic? Or would you, if it turns out that this was a lab leak, would you want to hold the Chinese government responsible?
I mean, first, I think the first thing that you said, I 100% believe in PSYOP shit where they're like, okay, because mind you, they run the media. Put Twitter, X and all this stuff aside, all these little media things. They run the show. They pump all that, because think about it, people are still watching MSNBC and CNN. They pump that story right back to back. They pump another story, and then they have to slip the other one in because the information is out there. And in regards to that, Rob, I 100%, listen, people have to stop thinking and stop assuming that people of power, people that are in control, they're incapable of doing evil shit. Like when I talk about Israel and how Benjamin Netanyahu, maybe he did, maybe he knew, they knew a year in advance. And people are like, you think somebody in power would knowingly just turn the back? I go, yes, I do, because man is evil. You know how evil men are? God sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die for our sins because we are inherently evil people. So when it comes to that, Rob, when it comes to Wuhan, and I wouldn't put it past them that they had something set up like that just in case a Trump or something like that happens. Because look at the timing there. You nailed it. The timing of Trump talking crap about China, election year, and all of a sudden a virus leaks. And by the way, they're still not 100%. They're saying it's almost certain. We're almost 4 years later. You still can't say where it came from, which is horseshit. This is my personal opinion. It was a military drop from China in cahoots with us, and guess what? Shut everything down, and congratulations.
What's crazy is it's taken 4 years to investigate this and figure it out. We're still not there. But the same day, September 11th, 2001, they were naming Osama bin Laden as the person responsible behind the attacks, despite him publicly saying, I did not do this. He said that for 2 years before he finally
What are you talking about? They found the passports on the floor.
No, the perfect passport.
The perfect passport.
One thought, you said, who was it and who should be held responsible? Everyone to pull the Gary Oldman. But you see, like the Chinese interests and the Democrat interests in working together to oust Trump, they had a unified enemy there, and it was Trump. So the idea that this could have been something of collusion, coordination to make it happen so that they could rewrite the laws, rewrite the rules, and oust Trump would be as much in China's interest as it was in the Democrats.
100%. And they've been warning us. By the way, when you hear the Klaus Schwab and you hear Bill Gates, they've been warning us. They're bro. And like we said the week before about how these Luciferian assholes have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it, bro. They told us. And nobody listened. Pandemic, and it hit.
Can I say, I've been on the other side of these things. You know, like back home, I used to build narratives. You know, I had powerful clients.
Where is home?
I'm not going to.
He can't tell you.
I'm not going to disclose.
Formerly known as Humberto.
I'm not going to disclose that information, but I've been on this side, like building narratives, like putting news out, so some other news become more obscure. Okay, I'm guilty of this. It's fun. What I find really funny is that the term they use, nothing burger. Like, I can't believe Americans get fed nothing burgers, 0 calories, and they keep getting fatter. Because, like, they take up all these stories, like, dude, it's the funniest thing. Like, you put out something like names that we already know, and they're going to eat it up. Every single time, because the attention span of most people is very limited. Like, you need to think that most people are working the whole day, or they're tired, they have families. This comes in, it's like, oh wow, more names on the Epstein case, and the story that really matters, it gets put on the back burner.
Have you guys ever heard of the Friday news dump?
No, yeah.
No.
Okay,
100%. We used to do it all the time.
It's a term where the most popular thing that they don't want you reading about, and whoever they is, mainstream media, whatever news article, whatever news website, they release the article Friday at 4:30 because people are going into the weekend. It gets lost in the shuffle. People just don't pay attention. And I think that's what happened here, is that they released the rest of these stories. All of this comes out at once to try and distract you. And not to mention, it's a short week for a lot of people. A lot of people today is their Friday because it's going into Christmas. A lot of people taking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. So I feel like this is it's a combination of a Friday news dump with a bunch of nothing burgers.
Okay. All right. Guys, moving on to the next story.
Good guy.
Shane, did you watch the movie?
I have not, no.
You still haven't watched it. Has everybody here watched Leave the World Behind?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Scary as shit? Was it like were you shocked that the Obamas produced something like that? And
I think, can I be honest?
Yeah.
We talked about it here, and I made judgments before watching it, and I apologize. I thought, the racial stuff was too much. Then I go and I watch it, and I could see, remember the line where the girl says or the father says to the girl, don't ever trust white people?
Well, the daughter said
to the father. I see how that builds up throughout the movie. So before I was like, man, I can't believe the president of the United States would allow that to be in a movie that he produces, that line right there. But then I watch the movie and I go, it plays to the narrative. The rest of the movie, I go, oh, fuck, they're preparing us for something. And then it's
and you're right, it's scary. And that preparation leads to Shane's story today about the Doomsday prepping and talk to us, dude.
Yeah, so the genesis of this story was an article that I wrote for valuetainment.com. Basically,
VT.com.
VT.com.
Great article, by the way.
So
link in description.
So if we do a little timeline here, 1 week ago, that movie comes out. You guys cover it on the PBD podcast.
Yeah.
Then I think the next day, a trailer for the new movie Civil War gets released.
Great.
So 2 predictive programming things in 1 week. Then you guys go to Turning Point, and at Turning Point, PBD said multiple people came up to him asking him what they should do to prepare for a doomsday-like scenario. So he suggested to our editor-in-chief, maybe we should do an article about that. I wrote this article about 24 hours ago. It is the top 3rd story of the entire month on the website, and it keeps doing numbers. And we didn't even put on social media at first. It immediately just from Google Trends, Google results was bringing all these viewers. So it's crazy. So basically, I just did some research on the topic. New York Times. I'm taking notes. So there was a show by National Geographic back in 2011 about doomsday preppers. I think it was just called Preppers.
Preppers, great show. Love it.
I heard it was good. So basically, you would just go interview people who prep and all their gun cabinets and whatever their escape plans. The show got so much hate from New York Times. A New York Times writer said it was absurd excess on display, offensively anti-life, full of contempt for humankind. What these folks want most of all is not to protect their families. What they want is a license to open fire. But what finally got it taken off the air was the Sandy Hook shooting, because the shooter was painted as a prepper in the media. A petition from change.org, if you remember that.
The
from
kid
the
from
Obama
Sandy
era.
Hook was like 13. What could he have been?
Adam Lanza.
The family. Well, he was 16 or 17, maybe.
The Lanza was a little bit older.
But the family, I didn't know the prepping angle of Adam.
But wait, that's so weird that they're
apparently he was into the prepper idea. So
for the end of the world.
Anyways, he a bunch of petitioners got the show removed off the air. But
sorry, just to confirm what you're saying, The Independent from December of 2012. Mother of Sandy Hook school gunman Adam Lanza was a prepper survivalist preparing for economic and social collapse.
Okay.
He was ahead of his, he was a murderer, but he was ahead of his time.
Wow. Yeah, right.
He was ahead of his time.
So, or at least his mom was. So, anyways, he had so the prepping idea though has not gotten away. It's only gotten more popular. If you want to go to the first graph there, Gen Z is actually most likely to prep for disasters.
Really?
40% of Gen Z respondents to a survey from Finder said that they prepare for emergencies.
What's Gen Z? What years are those?
That's 95 to 2010.
Well, if I may make a joke here, if anyone's going to fight in World War Z, it should be Gen Z. I've never seen that movie. I have no idea.
I think it's zombies. But
hell yeah, with
same
Brad
thing,
Pitt, right?
Yes,
there's multiple doomsday scenarios. So the least likely is boomers. So that goes to your point too. The least likely are the people halfway out the door. See you guys.
They're just like,
Good
I'm going
luck.
to die anyway. Who gives a shit? I'm not going to build a bunker.
Not my mother.
Exactly. So Americans apparently spent a collective $11 billion on prepping in 2022. The number one resource people collect is food and water. Number two is toilet paper, as we saw in COVID.
Yeah.
3 medical supplies, 4 survival kits, 5 stashes of cash, which seems stupid to me because if everything is falling apart, then why are you going to
Yeah, you better have a gun, homie.
And then 6 is home renovations.
Firearms is not on that list.
Yeah, that is so weird. I don't see it anywhere.
Well, so that's next. If you want to go to the next slide
And
there, Sam.
firearms and ammunition, I would have had as number one.
Me
because
too.
That gets you everything else.
So I looked into that too. This is ammo sales projected starting in 2021 at $31.9 billion was spent by Americans on ammo in 2021. It's projected to go up to $45 billion in 2030. Also, new gun ownership reached a record in the pandemic, 21 million. New. That's new. Yeah. 1/5 of the United States bought guns during the pandemic. 50 million guns were purchased.
Good.
Now, Yeti, the beverage company, is producing emergency kits. They teamed up with an emergency kit company, and they're releasing prepper kits for $700. It comes with like knives, ropes, like all these things you might need.
What company is that?
Yeah, you know, when I was a kid, it was just called camping. You know, you get an iodine filtration system.
So funny.
Now it's okay.
Now it's a brand. There's also another company, Preppy. There's another one, Judy. And then I was reading an article from Wall Street Journal. There's people who make money teaching survival skills now. They have lines out the door, 20 people sessions, and with 10-person waiting lists.
Yeah,
and,
that's so funny. What's one of the tactics? Like, hey, this is what you do. You grab the smallest person and you punch them in the face and take their shit.
I mean, my second favorite Canadian after this guy is a guy called Canadian Prepper.
Yes.
Who has an excellent channel on YouTube. I've recommended.
Okay.
He's great.
We may have him on the podcast, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Please, I want to learn.
He's great. This thing is no joke, you know. Something's gonna happen eventually, like, and nobody regrets being prepared. Like this guy, you talked about it last show.
Yes,
you know?
I don't want to say where I have my supplies, but I have supplies. And to the gun sales, I've always been against firearms. I'm clumsy. I don't like the idea of having one in the home. I've got kids, and I've always felt like that's what the police are for. But I'm also naive. I am, because look at COVID and how crazy things got over fucking toilet paper then, and it was the flu. So for Christmas, my father has purchased, and I've accepted my very first firearm, and I'm going to go and get trained.
Nice.
So what type of firearm?
I don't know yet. He said he's going to take me, and we're going to go pick it out together.
So you don't know if it's a small arm or a long arm?
I have no idea what any of that means.
I hope it's a 500 Magnum by Smith & Wesson. I hope it's one of those big, like...
But I'm finally at the point where shit has gotten so extreme that I go, it's better to be... I have everything else, but like you said, I'm a tiny guy. Go punch the smallest guy in the face, take his shit. Well, not if I have a firearm and I can defend myself.
Actually, that's my strat. Like, I'm not preparing, just putting away the stash
Other people
to take your shit. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm doing.
Christian Slater in True Romance. It's better to have a gun and not need one than need one and not have one.
You're damn right. And they got, because I know Shane's going to go.
So the last point is, Rob's not alone. The billionaires also are preppers. Mark Zuckerberg, it was just released by Wired, is building a $100 million compound on a Hawaiian island and is building an underground bunker with blast-resistant doors, a 18-foot wide, 55-foot wide, 18-foot tall, I got the stats, water tank with a water pump system, endless food, supplies, and 6-foot walls all around his compound. Sam Altman is a prepper. Sam Altman told The New Yorker in 2016, I have guns, gold, potassium iodide, antibiotics, batteries, water, gas masks from the IDF, and a big patch of land in Big Sur.
IDF.
Who's Sam Altman?
OpenAI founder.
Okay.
Yeah, there was that
This
whole
makes me
debacle.
hate that
You don't need
More
IDF gas masks.
Right.
IDF got gas masks from them. You're not going to get gas masks from the IDF.
And the potassium
IDF from Israeli forces.
I know he has those. I want their same technology.
Well, you got to be a billionaire first. And
I
then
got
the
money.
less,
Don't
you worry
Peter
about it.
Thiel
I
is the
also
other
do on the
one.
military. I got
You
you.
give me some?
Peter Thiel was trying to build a compound in New Zealand, but the New Zealand government, to make some headlines, struck him down and was saying no because of environmental reasons. But I bet they're not alone. I remember when the pandemic hit, all of the news anchors in D.C. all took flights out to Idaho where they already had their compounds and they were chilling. And I was like, whoa. I felt like gypped or robbed. I was like, what's going on? So you guys all have your own escape hatches when shit goes down, but you are acting as the mainstream, like everything is fine every day. You're saying, preppers are crazy, preppers are, fringe people. In shows like, I don't know if you saw The Last of Us about a zombie takeover. It was a show like a
Great
couple
game,
years ago.
terrible show.
Well, anyways, there's the guy, Nick Offerman plays the crazy prepper guy, and he's depicted as this, right-winger. He's a closeted gay, whatever. He's like this caricature of a right-wing, according to Hollywood. So that's the public perception of what a prepper is. In reality, the real preppers are people in the mainstream media and Silicon Valley billionaires. So those are the ones who are really prepping.
Whatever they tell you to do, you know that you should probably be doing the opposite.
But I mean, dude, when the billionaires, because they're the elites, we always think that they got it. When they're starting to prepare, that's a pretty good sign for and the level. You always have to think. Look at the level of protection that he's doing. Blast, food for that long. A whole water.
But is Hawaii the best place to do that?
That's what a lot of people were saying. They were like, why would you want to be stranded in the middle of the ocean?
Yeah, well, I think New Zealand or a place where you have, you're not going to be surrounded by water at all times.
But if he's but think about it, if you're self-sufficient, not a lot of people. That's the place.
But,
he's
Putting so much money into it, I think he has
they
to
are
protect.
buying a lot of land on from the undisclosed place where I'm from. They're buying a lot of land and a lot of islands there for this same purpose. Am I mistaking or remembering wrong? You talked about that boomers are putting away cash.
Boomers are putting away cash. Everyone is apparently, but the boomers are too.
That's interesting. Because cash will be worthless.
Exactly.
I know my mom says it all the time. She's like, make sure you have cash on hand if something
Well,
happens.
what about but why would you guys say that? I mean, because if it's an EMP attack or a cyber attack, all the digital phone card stuff is going to be gone. So cash would be like hey, give me some of that food. And I mean, we're going to have some type of exchange.
Yeah, but I would think that if it's end of times type stuff, are you going to accept any type of money for the food that you
It's
have?
going to be it's going to be barter, and I don't know.
Barter and
Hard
shooting
assets.
each other.
Were you
It's
the
gonna
one
be
that
bad.
said this on the podcast that you can't, a red light goes out and there's mass chaos?
Oh, yeah.
You said that, right?
Four-way intersection?
Yes, exactly. So if there's mass chaos from a red light going, people don't know, people are angry, people are flipping each other off, honking on their horns. Imagine that on every city block
Oh
in your
my
city.
God, dude, it's freaking chilling to know, not like Van Jones when he's shaking when Vivek talks. I'm talking about, not that, pussy. I'm talking about, think about that. If a light goes out, it's pandemonium. The people, dude, I get people that get out of their cars and they're trying to kill each other. And George Carlin had a special. You guys have a chance. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Watch George Carlin when he goes, do you know how you ruin society? Just shut electricity off. He goes, that's it. And he does a breakdown, Shane, of everything that happens from the water to the jails to the prisons. You got to open up the prisons. You can't leave them locked in there, and it's over.
It's over.
For you. Listen, if it's that bad, and it's not just like an attack, cyber attack that knocks us out for a week or two, which I think America will survive. It'll be a little bit nuts. But if it's sustained for hey guys, 6 months, we're going off, it's over. Don't even think, people are I'm wrapping up and I'm grabbing my shit. People are going to be shooting and killing and rioting and the government, it's going to be a coup d'etat, it's going to be civil war. It's going to be nuts, dude.
I actually did a whole show on this so people can take something home. One of the things to remember is the 3 rule. You can spend 3 hours without shelter. You will die of being cold or too hot. then you can have 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food. So you need to plan accordingly. First thing you need to put away, as Mark Zuckerberg did in the article, great article by the way, link in the description, water. Putting away water. You know how much water you need?
For how long?
Okay, for one person, how much water do you need to put away every 3 days?
Shit.
A few gallons.
2 gallons.
Okay, it's 1 gallon of water per person every 3 days. So if you have a family, like you can do the math how much water it is. If you have a
taking
family,
notes.
I have been.
Rob's taking proper notes.
like imagine like a family of 4, like how much it's a
Oh my
lot
God.
of water. Like if you like prepping for a week, that's a lot of water that you need to put away.
I'm going to stay single so I don't have to deal with any of that. No kids, no dogs.
Vinny,
Just-
we need more Vinnies, dude.
I know. I'm gonna start getting active very,
He's
very
got to
soon.
get as rich as Zuckerberg. That's the other.
Yeah,
option.
but he's not
Did
the only...
notice that the condoms were not on the list of prepper items, so that's when there's going to be a prepper baby boom. Like you
Actually,
know,
get
be
a dog
fruitful and
too.
multiply.
Actually, the condoms are there. Like the Red Cross has a list that is on the website. I don't know if you edited yet, but condoms are in the list.
they serve a dual function. Like you can use them to waterproof things very easily.
They
and
have
you
so many functions, like not having babies.
Not the ones I buy. Very small. There's not a lot of functions.
Well,
A
here's a
drop
life hack.
of water.
You can use a Ziploc baggie twice. Bada bing, bada boom, I'm out of here.
This would be a great transition to Umberto's story. But
Oh,
we
God.
got
Oh,
another.
God.
Yeah, but I think we're going to get... So, all right, so we're going to move on to the second story.
Third story.
Oh, sorry?
Is it? It's
Yes,
the third
third
story.
story.
Okay,
This is
I'm
the
done.
third. I'm sorry, guys.
Having too
The
much
whole
fun.
Doomsday. I got...
Is that we see it right there?
Yes.
That's it right there. So, David, a Palestine protester, was threatening... What
Well,
the hell's going
it's a
on?
little more complicated than that. Are we able to roll the video by any chance? It doesn't really matter if we can't.
all
Bottom line, if we could see the graphic here, if we
He's
don't,
scary looking.
there's a pro Gaza or pro Palestine protest. It's at the Eaton Center in downtown Toronto,
Okay.
and you have your rivaling sides.
Wait,
and
that's Toronto?
that's Toronto.
Dude, can you show them?
We're looking at Gaza.
Bro.
So it's been interesting. Montreal has been on the map as well because Montreal's had some rather colorful protests.
Oh, that's not good.
No, dude, that looks like... Well, look at that for a second.
Well, so the guy pointing the finger right there is the video goes down. It's a protest. This guy's pointing at somebody between a line of police officers saying, "I'm going to cut you deep. I'm going to put you 6 feet." He says, "I'm going to cut you deep, put you 6 feet
Deep.
deep." But it wasn't deep. It sort of rhymed, and it was actually. I thought maybe it was rapping.
he was good on the
It was rhythmic. It could have been like
Yeah.
it could have been lyrics to a song.
Poetry.
I'm going to cut you. Oh, I forgot. Whatever.
Whatever, cut your feet, put your 6 feet deep, whatever.
And so that was it. I cut you deep, put you 6 feet. It rhymed.
Cut you deep,
Doesn't
put you
matter.
6 feet.
And so people were outraged because it looked like he was threatening a police officer.
Yeah. And the police officers were looking backwards like, who the hell are you
I
talking
think
to?
it's the Toronto police. They're
Yeah.
sitting there and they're like, what are you doing, man?
you talking
Anyways,
to?
so people got outraged because you see this protester. Outright, it's not like whether or not it's a threat. It was an outright threat, and people thought it was against a police officer.
Yeah.
So a number of people, the video went viral on Twitter. You know, you got the Rubens of the world putting it on blast. Then this guy named Joe Warmington, who's a journalist who has taken the red pill. So Joe, if you're watching,
Hey,
congrats,
Joe.
welcome to the team.
Yeah.
He put out a tweet that said, "You can't threaten police officers in Canada. This is not how you can do it at any protest."
Yeah.
The Toronto Police Association responded to him with a tweet. It's like a Monty Python comedy.
Go on.
They literally said, he wasn't threatening a police officer. He was just threatening a shop goer. And the shop
so
goer
much better.
chose not to press charges. And I'm like, first of all, you
He's an
realize...
ally.
No, he was scared of his
He's just
effing mind. He's sitting there.
He's threatening somebody.
Or do you want to press charges? This is at a politically charged protest. You want to press charges against this gentleman here? We'll stop him. We'll take your respective notes and claims. So he says, don't worry, it wasn't police. It was just a citizen. And I tweet, I was like, you guys are this is be a freaking joke. In Canada, you know, the Crown presses charges. The Crown, the government, is the one that is the complainant in a criminal complaint, not the victim. And sometimes you don't ask the victim, you just got assaulted by this individual. Do you want to press charges? Well, he'll beat me even harder if I do that. So maybe I don't want to. It's like, that's the whole reason. So the idea that, don't worry, he was threatening a person, not a cop, and the person didn't want to press charges, it's a joke, and it sets the precedent that if you're thinking of going to Canada, if you have bouncy castles and you protest the government, they'll lock you. They'll lock you up and they'll freeze your bank accounts.
Yeah.
But if you're violently threatening a fellow citizen, that's cool. And depending on your political orientation, you get a pass.
Dude, unbelievable. Can I ask you a question, David? Because you're from.
I am born and raised Montreal, Quebec. La belle province.
So tu parles français?
Bien sûr.
Okay, he does, guys. We're so advanced. What is Justin Trudeau's attitude like when stuff like this happens? What's the government's response to literally calling for people to die, threatening people's lives, and nothing happening? Besides somebody trying to press charges, bro. If you're doing that in front of a cop, if you say, "Hey, I'm going to kill you in front of a cop," here you're going to go to jail.
And this, they're not going to do the Brandenburg test. Was that a legitimate exercise of free speech?
Yeah,
it was black and white. My cynical joke. What would Justin Trudeau's response be? After a thing like that, it would be we have to be very careful about Islamophobia. That would literally be his response.
100%.
It's outrageous that whenever there's an incident, it immediately becomes a question of let's not have backlash against the group, and it'll be any number of groups because it'll go for any one of the marginalized groups. I'm sure his response would have been, let's not jump to Islamophobic presumptions here, and be careful for the backlash and don't complain too much.
And dude, I saw a video, I think 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, where he's speaking at a college. The video is like from his back, and he's talking to a female, and the girl, the college student in Canada, is like, we need to do this and we need to be green for all of mankind. She couldn't even finish saying mankind. He's like, it's persons or people kind. You don't want to offend.
Get out.
And I'm like,
it's an old video. It's a classic.
It's an old video. But guess what? Is that what you're worried about? You gender pronoun correcting piece of trash. Nobody loves you. Nobody likes you in Canada.
If we want to play that game, he's actually said, we prefer the more inclusive term called people kind. And said, you're right, I'm sorry. He mansplained, and I believe it was a minority woman. Like she was a woman who was of color. He mansplained it to a woman of color what her language should be.
Well, he's a man of color. I've seen the photo of him in blackface.
Yeah, he was.
And he's part Cuban.
I want to go in because this problem right here, because it's a problem. Can we agree that it's a problem?
Big problem?
It's a big problem. In the undisclosed location where I'm from, like this is happening as well.
Now I'm getting curious. Where the hell are you from?
Oh, he's an
international man of mystery.
And like these people from the left, like whatever we see as a problem, they wrote about it. Okay, there's a book that is called A Critique of Pure Tolerance that was published in 1965. And they were making fun of Kant's in Critique of Pure Reason. There's an essay there, okay? And the essay is called Repressive Tolerance by Herbert Marcuse, okay? Tolerance is not a Christian virtue. It's a trap, okay? Being tolerant is a trap. Because how much tolerance can you do you spend tolerance or you give tolerance? Are you tolerant? I don't know how to put it in words.
To tolerate it?
But what he writes in the essay is that everything that is to the left of me needs to be tolerated, okay? Everything is a fair game. They can burn cities down. They can have Canada looking like Kabul. They can stab someone. They can do whatever because it's to the left of me.
Yeah.
To the right of me, zero tolerance. Yeah. Zero tolerance. Just saying that I don't think that, threatening anyone, not just a police officer, saying that like a shrub going, that's fascism.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they wrote about this. And Western society in general, especially Canada, because they're too nice, and Europe in general, this tolerance is biting them in the ass.
Yep.
And you see London, how it's going, you see Canada, how it's going, and the more tolerant a society is, the worse it gets.
I agree.
It's like the tolerance is comparative, to economics, where you say it's like the capitalist will sell the communists the rope with which the communists will hang the capitalists.
Yeah.
And it's analogous to the tolerance. I'm going to tolerate the intolerant who would then use my tolerance to destroy me.
The essay is called Repressive Tolerance. I suggest
Marcuse is also, by the way, the guy who coined the idea that the left should no longer use the working class as their vehicle, but any oppressed minority group. So you can see how these two ideas work together. Also, by the way, Marcuse worked for the precursor to the CIA, which is the OSS, which is just kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Weird. Yeah. Weird, isn't that weird?
But I mean, the funny thing is that the writing is on books, on the walls, like they wrote everything down. So like I recommend anyone that's watching the show to read the essay, or I think James Lindsay did a great video essay on it. If reading is not your thing, because Vinny and I, we can't read good.
I can't read
but
good.
We learn.
You read gooder than me.
There was the issue in Canada where they, whether or not they compel new immigrants to remove their veil during the citizenship ceremony.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing. Like I grew up as a Jewish kid, and when the schools, and I was in a non-Jewish school, they would make things on Jewish holidays. And I'm like, well, it's not a Jewish society. I'm not in a Jewish school. And this is like not the sacrifice, but like, this is what it means to live in a different society. If you don't like the rules, don't, live in that society. And if you come into a country where, it does become an issue. So you respect freedom of speech up until a point. And that is, I don't know if that's repressive tolerance, but at some point you say, like, I lived in Quebec. I had no problem with French laws designed to preserve the French language. That's what it meant to live in Quebec. You don't like it? Don't want to learn French?
Go to
the rest of Canada.
Yeah, the rest of Canada. But I don't know. Like, give tolerance like a spin. It's a trap. Like being tolerant is a trap. It's something that you don't like, you don't agree with, but you have to live with it anyways. Just saying, like, the statue. Did you write that article about the statue that Connor did? That
the satanic statue.
that guy didn't tolerate Satan.
Iowa?
In Iowa.
Iowa. A satanic group wanted to put a statue of Satan in the state capital of Iowa.
They did. Put it there.
Yeah, I'm just explaining.
But a guy came and chopped.
And then a Christian nationalist guy just toppled it and got in trouble. So he got in trouble.
Beheaded it.
He beheaded it.
Nothing better than a good old Christian beheading.
Yeah.
I had those
on a satanic statue with glass.
How did you do it? With a hammer or like a?
Nobody knows. It was just the aftermath. I mean, they're pretty sure.
Well, and speaking of it, in Montreal, 3 blocks from where I used to live, they tore down the statue of Johnny MacDonald because he was, a tyrannical prime minister, former prime minister.
You see the video they made melting the statue? I think it was, oh my God, I forgot. One of the statues they tore down in Minnesota. Like,
yeah, where was that? They melted it down.
Yeah, they melted it down.
It was Robert E. Lee. It was the one
and they
from
made a video
Charlottesville,
out of
Virginia.
it.
Yeah.
What did they make out of the molten metal?
No, they
made bullets for the pit. Bullets, knives, swords. Yeah. But
well, speaking of repressive tolerance, that might be the perfect segue into the next.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I know what's coming. The crowd doesn't know what's coming.
Yeah, well, guess what? Somebody was coming. Hey, to the next story with Umberto, who might be in the CIA. He might
still from the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
That has now become an internet meme. Like you could see that. You could blow out the contrast on that and just have 2 colors. You'll know exactly what you're looking at.
100%, because I mean that's the floor, and Umberto's going to get into it. Umberto, you're going to
get into it.
It was a week ago. We weren't here because I would have definitely talked to you about it. So they're having gay sex on the Senate floor. Is that what's happening?
Have you heard about the hero that you deserve?
Yeah.
Not the one you need. Like, I'm the hero that you need.
Yeah.
Like, not even the boys that write good at BT.com decided to write a full article on this.
Yeah.
We're a family platform.
And as soon as this happened, like I told you, 13 minutes in, I was like, there's something funny about this,
Yeah.
Gay sex in the Senate. Like, I mean, I had jealous boyfriend feelings when this happened, because we're so used to getting screwed by Senate that someone getting screwed in the Senate,
it felt good.
It felt good.
And they recorded it. So what's the story? So what's give us a breakdown of what actually happened for people that weren't following, that just heard it.
A Senate aide to Senator Ben Cardin recorded an 8-second pornographic clip at the Senate hearing room.
8 seconds is all some people need.
My clothes are already on and I'm leaving.
Okay.
Money's on the table.
The caption of the video was "getting some German sausage."
Where did he post it?
Well,
on his Instagram story.
On his Instagram
on his
story.
own Instagram. No, really. He made it for just close friends, but still, you post that and you think that's not going to get sent around? I think the kid.
No,
I didn't know you could put porn on Instagram.
Well, you can post anything. I mean,
now
you'll get a flag.
Yeah, that story's going to come out later on today.
I didn't know that he put it on his Instagram.
Me neither. I thought he shared it with his close friends, and they're like, and
I
one
thought
of
the
them
guy
leaked-
behind him
No,
leaked it.
straight to Instagram, dude.
Oh,
So
wow.
also,
Okay, sorry.
also he posted it to. I've heard a gay Facebook group for senator interns in the.
I'm in there. I didn't see it.
Okay, thanks. Do some research.
All right, so I'm sorry about the guy. I'm just as shocked at David because, I mean, the balls, no pun intended, the balls to do something like that, but go ahead.
I love the support. It's a hard story. I'm the guy doing
It's a hard
it.
story. Guys, he's going to keep on coming. Hard story. This guy went balls to the wall. Go ahead.
So, getting some German sausage. This goes worse. Like, it gets
Oh my
progressively worse.
God, go.
2 guys involved. One of them is the gay aid.
Gay aid.
Gay aid.
Yeah, his name is Aiden.
Aiden Mace Saporowski. I don't know.
Is he
how to
Russian?
pronounce it. No.
Saporowski.
I think he's Polish at this time.
Polish.
Yeah.
He's a Pole.
Ja wyglądam dobrze.
Well, then there's a political joke about the German and the Poles in this, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's not
God.
We're never going to get through this one. I love it.
No. We're
Man, this story is so hard to get through. Hey,
we're at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it gets funnier. This guy turns out to be a victim. Like,
What do you mean he's a victim?
he's a victim now.
Please.
He's a victim now.
Why?
I'm
What is
gonna
that?
read his post. This is hilarious.
This is, wait, now question. Is it the guy that's bent over? Because we'll never...
He's definitely the victim.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in that act, yeah, he's
Because
definitely
the guy
victim.
recording him, they haven't revealed. But that's a great question. Who's recording this?
Apparently,
The German
Laura
sausage.
Yeah, Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer apparently identified the person.
Oh, I thought Laura Loomer filmed it.
Shout out to Laura. Get that footage, girl. All right, go ahead. So, I'm sorry. This is
Yeah,
too...
so if Laura Loomer's correct, I don't think it's been substantiated, but it was a guy named Georg Gager, which
No,
is just hilarious. I swear that's
Are you
what she
kidding
said.
me?
Is that a porn
Go on.
Are you
star?
kidding me?
Guys,
Nah.
keep on coming. Go ahead.
Okay. He disrespected the Senate. You know, did his thing, posted it to Instagram.
citadel
where
of
there's
democracy.
kids there.
Yeah.
You know, terrible. And now he's the victim. Because like you can have the full story.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like the gay guy comes on being the victim and on top. And
Can you read what... Well, I want to hear his...
Okay.
What's his... You said his apology?
No. It's him victimizing himself.
Oh, okay, go. All
You
right.
think a guy
It's
like this
amazing.
will apologize?
If you haven't read this.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
haven't.
this is
Go.
Okay.
a work of art.
Go.
I'm not doing that gay accent. This is my natural
This
voice.
is... No, by the way, guys, he is such a method actor. He's going to give you guys the gayest accent he can. Because, hey, listen, I want you to sell it, baby. Sell it. Go.
This has been such a difficult time for me as I have been attacked for those who I love I love in pursuit of a political agenda. While some of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment, I love my job and I will never disrespect my workplace. Yeah, right, dude.
I cleaned up afterwards.
Yeah.
Sorry. I used Clorox. One wipes.
Any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I will be exploring what legal action options are available to me in this matter. Come on, dude. Come on.
Wait,
dude.
I'll just say, I'm going to say this. I don't know if everybody feels the same way. The fact that it's a gay couple is irrelevant to me. This
Absolutely
could have been
relevant.
heterosexual sex in the Senate hearing room, and I would think it's just as inappropriate. It could
Whatever
be
sex.
it could be a blow.
Whatever.
It could be a BJ in the Oval Office with an
I'm
intern.
not cool.
Dude, a guy playing solitaire is right there. You know,
He's not supposed to be in there.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
Let me, and
Oh,
then-
you're playing solitary.
Yeah, playing solitaire.
Okay.
You know,
But guys, but don't
That's not enough.
you guys see a pattern with? And mind you, I'm not a Republican. I'm just saying it's a pattern how the left, because this guy's a Democratic senator.
Yes.
This kid's a Democrat staffer. He's a Democrat. Look at what do you expect? This is the same type of behavior on Pride Month. The White House had a trans dude with tits hanging out there on the White House lawn, shirtless, showing his boobs. Yes, I was staring at them because you have to. But
And their boobs.
And their boobs. Are you guys surprised about this type of behavior? Be honest. Are you shocked? I mean, I'm
I
shocked.
think it's like
posted it, Dave.
it's the brazen celebration of a conquering army. Basically, it's that same kind of.
We're in the. We can do whatever we
We've
want.
destroyed your values. We're victorious now,
Yeah.
and here's us planting the flag.
Dude, this is a victory lap.
Exactly.
It's a
That big
victory lap.
pride
And his
flag
ass.
And
with the
you know
trans
what
colors too.
the White House said about that? It was a disrespectful stunt that killed trans joy in the White House.
Shut the hell up.
It's
Oh,
it's
God.
pathological. I mean, it's pathological. I don't know if it's not whatever it is, like blaming the people who call it the perpetrator.
Victim blaming.
But he had to book the room. He booked the Senate hearing room in the name of his Senate guy that he serves. I forget his name.
Wow.
So it was booked for two people. Like, whether or not it seems that people knew and know that this stuff goes on routinely. I'm not convinced it's so much Democrat versus Republican, because there's a lot of depravity on both. Politics is just one big cesspool of depravity. It's like Hollywood. It's just
ugly people
and
Hollywood. That's what people call DC.
And is it Santos or DeSantos? Santos apparently has some beans to spill on both sides.
Yeah,
so,
but he wants $5,000 to spill him because he's a shakedown artist. I don't like that guy. That's a true story.
He is a con artist.
George
Santos.
Well,
I'll come on your podcast, but it's going to cost you $5,000.
yeah,
Fuck off.
you're not worth $5,000, buddy. But here's the thing,
is that what
too.
he said to you? Not.
Yeah, he was trying to get
You can charge to be on podcast? I've been threatened.
The wrong women.
I actually pay to be here. I didn't
Too
know you
late,
guys.
buddy. Too late, buddy.
To get a good barometer of the room here, I'd just like to see where you guys stand on gay and trans issues. Gay marriage. If you're
come
for
on,
it, raise
dude.
your hand.
I don't care. Like, go for it.
Okay.
I think I'm against it.
You're against it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think civil unions are fine, but I don't think you should mess with the institution of marriage, because I believe the law peers into the soul of the citizen, and I think when you say things are legal at a certain level, the soul understands them to be good and just, and I just don't think if you want the natural hierarchy, it's not good.
So yours is more of a virtue thing, though. It's not like
It's not religion.
gay people.
It's not religion.
It's semantics, even. I'm not saying this to undermine your argument. It's like, if you say, I will recognize the same rights in union between gay couples and heterosexual couples, then you support
I just don't
it.
think you
give
should
it
call it
another name.
marriage. Yeah.
And that I've always understood that argument.
So none of us want to stand in the rights and happiness of gay people.
Two consenting adults of sound mind can do whatever they want with each other and themselves.
Adults, yeah, go.
How about a trans? Guys,
Go
okay
do your
with an
thing.
adult man,
Go.
trans.
Listen.
Where do you draw a line? Bathrooms? Sports? Because there is a line.
When it interferes with the rights of others, and that's where the bathroom issue comes.
Bathroom, sports, and children.
So we're okay with gay people. We're okay with gay sex. We're okay with trans people.
Of course.
But we're not okay with what just happened. But if you say that, all of a sudden, bigot, you hate gays, I want them electrocuted until they're normal.
Yeah.
That becomes what they say about it.
Yeah.
Some people might say, like, the Mile High Club, it glamorizes sex, in public spaces. If it were anal sex with a heterosexual couple, maybe people say, oh, that's hotter. I don't know. It would be on all levels equally degenerate as relates to that video. So the gay aspect of it is irrelevant.
It's just sex.
It's just the distraction from the story. It's just desecrating and the audacity to take the video and share it.
You know,
on Instagram.
This is a great question, a great point. You know who's standing in the way of their happiness is gay people. Like guys like this, like everything that they fought for, their rights and everything, they push everything back because not everyone has the same understanding. And it's not the gay people. I think every, adult has the right to live their life the way they want to live it. I agree with the tax stuff. Like if they want to have joint taxes and they want to, give permissions for the other guy, whatever. Like everything that is done before the law, I'm all for it. I'm kind of on your boat when it comes to like the semantics of it, like what's marriage and what's not. It's okay, but I won't judge anyone. I don't care enough to like have an opinion on it. Now, the thing we do need to separate is the LGBTQ plus that is a Marxist collective with the gay people. They're two different things. Like we can go back to Marcuse. He writes about this. They think the body and the transgression that they cause society is a way to impose Marxism.
It's a revolutionary act.
It's this guy taking it at the Senate hearing room is miles apart from someone I respect and love, like Dave Rubin. Like I listen to him religiously every day. Like matter of fact, I'm thinking about buying merch from a gay Jewish guy to spread, love in my family and celebrate Christ. That's how much I respect him. I love that guy. He's great. He's a completely different person.
He's phenomenal.
He's great. And they're not the same. They're not the same thing. This is an act of aggression.
Well, and it's not that. It is, unfortunately, it also sets everyone back in that it perpetuates the very same demonizing stereotypes that people said in the first place. Yeah, and I remember the arguments. Give an inch, they'll take a mile of all dimensions.
Talk about
which is why I understand the argument that the semantics debate is relevant as well, because it's not a question of a gay couple saying, just recognize my rights. It's from the argument is, I want that word. I want that word marriage, which has a historical meaning, a religious meaning to many. And I can understand the push and pull on both of those. And like my father always said to me, when you represent an identifiable demographic, when you misbehave, you reflect poorly on that demographic as a whole, which is why it's very important to behave properly.
And one thing, Vinny, you are a stand-up comedian. I wonder if your experiences are similar to mine. I also do stand-up. Most of the comedians that I've worked with who are females are usually gay. A common theme throughout their acts, as well as watching gay men stand-up acts, are that they identify as LGBTQ. They're gay. But they don't identify with that LGBTQ. They're going, I'm gay, but that I don't even get. And so it's a common, like every female or male comedian that was gay that I've worked with, I've heard that common theme throughout their act is that, yeah, this is me. That doesn't represent me, but yet that's what we listen to. We don't listen to the normal, not normal, I hate to even say it. We don't listen to the rational gay person.
Yeah, well,
we listen to
think about BLM and just black identity.
Yes. That's what we need to separate the waters between what's a Marxist collective. Okay, I'll give you another example. Vegans, okay? Being a vegan is political. Being a vegetarian is not political.
Meaning?
Meaning that I don't eat meat because I'm better than you, and I care about animal rights, and animals' rights should be at the same level as humans. Having a boyfriend is not the same as being part of a gay collective. And you need to think about this. I'm going to close with this. You need to think about it like this. Well, most of us think they're playing chess. Okay, they think they're playing chess and making their chess move. They're not playing chess. Anyone familiar with the Chinese game Go?
Yep.
Okay.
You got to gobble up all their pieces.
How do you win Go?
You circle a piece and then you own it.
Yes, you circle the piece. You're
like hungry hippo.
An intellectual hungry.
Gotcha. You're trying to use as much space on the board. Doesn't matter what type of win. This is a win for them. Because then again, the real action is a reaction. Okay, so they're using space on the board. They're making me talk about this that is not pleasant. It's not good for democracy. It's not good for gay rights.
It's not good for your browsing history is what it's not good for.
I couldn't use Twitter for a day after that. I was like, oh.
I know.
And by the way,
I'll disagree on the vegan part. Being vegan is a choice. Telling people you're vegan is a political statement.
Hey, look at me.
It's the same for everything else. Like, being something is one thing. Telling everybody else so you can impose your personal choices on them is when it becomes a political thing.
See?
And I'm getting tired of it. But you know what I'm getting tired of, and I'm tired of saying it? LGBTQAI. Because, brother, if you think about it, it all comes down to you're gay. L stands for what?
Lesbian.
Gay, they're gay.
Well, in Canada, it's 2S LGBTQIA+.
How about this? I'll never say that.
Yeah. 2S. Two-spirit. LGBTQ. I is intersex, A is asexual, and plus is for everything else.
That's the one Trudeau uses on his official tweets.
Meaning you don't want to have sex with anybody, they're lumped into that group? I don't get it.
The thing is, it went from sexual orientation to sexual preferences. I've never cared about like what asexual or intersex. Like
asexual has nothing to do with gay, or you're not horny.
And then two-spirit is apparently the native have identified as both characters. And it's an amazing thing that it had never occupied any political space until politicians discovered they could weaponize it.
And think about this. When I say you don't need all the LGBT, because, bro, it's just the gay community. That's why so many people in the gay community are pissed off, because L stands for lesbian. They're gay. The G stands for what? Gay. Weird. The B is what? Bi. You sleep with both. You're gay.
Kind of gay.
No, but kind of gay.
The B presumes that there's only two genders, by the way, because if you can't be bi if there's more than two genders.
Yeah, brilliant. And then the T, trans, you hook up with you're gay. And then Q is queer. That's another word for gay. So why do we need all these letters? Just say I'm in the gay community.
Well, because they need there to be many, many genders. But like you just said, bi implies there's two.
Well, bi, yeah, but it's like, give me a...
So even their own title would be transphobic.
Yes.
We just shit on their whole...
Yeah.
But no. But like semantics, words are important. I'm 100% against the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
But I will take a bullet to defend a dude that has a boyfriend. I will take a bullet for his freedom. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Like, I defend the people, like, ruthlessly. There's no exception, whatever you look like, whoever you date, no exceptions. You're a person, I defend you.
Yes.
But I'm against the group, you know?
Yeah,
Can you imagine taking sex tapes? Even if you're a married couple. First of all, if you're married, why would you ever need to do it? The judgment that is lacking to digitize you sex with anybody. I mean, it's like they're not even fearful of blackmail material.
Can you imagine? Guys,
He posted it on Instagram.
His name is, what was his name? Aiden?
Aiden.
Because I'm a writer. I take a step back. How are you pitching like, hey, dude, I wanna bang you, and he's like, guess what? I already booked a room. He's like, at the Hilton? He's like, no. The Senate hearing room. And he's like, let's go. And he's like, I'm going to record 8 seconds.
This is an amazing bit right there.
And it's like, what do you, and then, because think about it, bro, the doors are locked. You're recording it, and you nailed it too. How does Instagram even allow nudity? I posted something once, and I think my nipple showed, or they'll take that shit down.
How are there not security cameras in there?
That's what I was There are security cameras.
They're everywhere?
Yeah.
Like the Pentagon, where the camera...
Yes, Rob.
Well, that's a great point.
They knew.
They knew. Maybe they shut it off, or they're all in on it, and they're like, listen, if you're gonna bang in there, we'll shut the cameras off just for that moment. But have at it.
So we don't have another angle. This is conspiracy. And you know what? I'm getting mad by the moment. This guy is a piece of shit. Okay? He's a piece of shit. I'm gonna say it, because I mean,
there's a pun in there also, but I'm
I'm sorry, but the gay people that were at the Stonewall riots, you know, back in the 60s, they took fucking bricks to the head to be gay. They fought tooth and nail for their fucking rights. And this guy has a goal to like put everything, all the suffering, and
then to frame it, the only thing that he's being attacked for is who he loves. First of all, I guarantee that wasn't love. It might have been something else, and that's not why no one's attacking for who he loves. It's how he loves them, where he loves them.
Yeah, and mind you, though, by the way,
posted.
Yeah, that's hilarious. And Dave, mind you, that same guy, they went into his account. He had one photo where he's like, I want Joe Biden to spit in my mouth. Something along those lines. And then there was one, by the way, these angles are good because he's doggy style in a mirror, and he said, I'm waiting for Lindsey Graham to come here and take me from behind her. By the way, Lindsey Graham, I mean, he's a fan. They're a fan of Lindsey Graham.
Lady G, they call
were wearing face masks and that they're double vaccinated before being allowed to do that.
There better have been. Jeez. All right, so guys, we're gonna get into the last. Are we good? Are you?
A lighter topic.
Yeah, guys. Listen, we're gonna shift gears. We're gonna go to an extremely, just nice. It's the holidays. I want to be chill, but the last topic. Etsy recently caused some alarm on social media. It had some Pizzagate-ish. How would you guys similarities? And I'll explain to everybody out there because a lot of people are just. Their brains can't handle it, but I'll give you guys a heads up what Pizzagate is, and this is on Wikipedia. Pizzagate is a conspiracy theory that went viral during the 2016 United States presidential election cycle, claiming that the New York City Police Department had discovered a pedophilia ring linked to members of the Democratic Party while searching through Anthony Weiner's emails. You can't make that up. In March 2016, the personal email account of John Podesta, just a creepy-ass looking dude. That's not in the Wikipedia. I added that. Hillary Clinton's campaign chair was hacked, and WikiLeaks published his emails. There's no dispute of if they're real. They're real. He has emails. In November 2016.
Oh, and by the way, the way they hacked him was they typed in they did a phishing scam where they said you got to reset your password, and his password was password.
Oh, you that serious?
Yeah.
Are you going to reference the email in particular?
I'm going to go there.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get into these emails. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm pretty sure you know some, too. The conspiracy claimed that emails contained coded messages that connected several high-ranking Democratic Party. I love he's cracking his nails. Get ready. Officials, we're all switching up. Because, let's not get banned. Watch your words. That U.S. restaurants with alleged human trafficking and a sex ring, and the establishment alleged was the Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria in Washington. The WikiLeaks email showed a bunch of emails that John Podesta, and again, guys, these are all conspiracies, sent to Hillary Clinton, just to name a few. This is back and forth. I'm going to read one. And listen, we're just reading what they sent. You tell me how weird this type of email is. This is a WikiLeaks leak to Uma Abedin, who worked for Hillary. That's her.
Uma Abedin was married to Anthony Weiner.
Married to Weiner,
that's the important thing.
By the way, disgusting human being. He's literally one of, and Dave, I've been around murderers, legit. People that have killed people, not like mafia, but industry gangster murderers from the East Coast. I've been with liars. I've been with guys that cheated with wives, cheat on taxes, drug dealers, screwed over people. Nothing gave me the feeling, David, of a evil demon in my presence. And God, so help me, it was a podcast, Rob, when he was on stage with Pat. I saw this guy and felt disgusted. I'm being dead serious. It was just, not just something, he's a piece of shit, and I'll say it out loud.
Well, the old expression, I hate your guts, comes from a human reacting to, like, the chemical pheromones of another person.
Yeah.
Bad people put off bad...
1,000% comes out of his soul, and you could see it. He was like a shifty snake, no eye contact. He was a rat, he was a demon. But anyway, this is to Uma Abedin. Again, this is what WikiLeaks put out. Barack Obama, John Podesta, Ben Affleck, Nancy Pelosi, they got this from Hillary. Dear Barack, when we began the pizza arrangement, weird, I thought we were going to be more careful than this. Operating from the White House is not originally what I had in mind. Remember that the hot dogs can come, but if you make a spectacle of it, that will be our downfall. Please know that I'm speaking as a friend, as President. You can do this, but I have to say I would think it'd be wiser to restrict the activity of our predetermined locations. Let me know what everyone thinks. We can vote if you like. Okay, weird. And then this is one of Podesta's emails going, I want to bring kids. We plan on being in the pool to go swim. Bonnie will Uber service and transport 3 kids, an 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old for further entertainment. You're bringing kids to swim and do what for further entertainment? And it continues. So WikiLeaks showed these emails. Also, and I'm gonna wait too. Okay, so this is one of them. Can you show this one? So guys, Pizzagate showed like pizza with these kids, and they're selling, listed at $20,461. Forever Young pizza. Pizza is related to pedophilia. That's their code word for boys. Okay. Yeah, what is Etsy? And by the way, they put these up there. Etsy took them down, but people captured it to try to. It's just really fishy. You're selling $10,000 photos of children. So the online, they got heat for selling girl pizza and young pizza assorted, code word for sex trafficking. Our prints of young children eating pizza were selling for $10,000 to $50,000 with disturbing delivery instructions, leading to many believe that the artworks are in fact disguised for child trafficking. One of the artworks is being sold for $50,000, describes the delivery method as a discreet, ordinary-looking package, and can schedule a down payment and meeting with insurance, okay? And the past couple years, members of the media who denied Pizzagate worked for outlets that covered up the Pizzagate and debunked it were arrested. This is where it gets weird, David. These guys, one of the guys that reported Pizzagate and said it's all fake, was arrested for sex crimes. You know, ABC reporter, is this one on there, Sammy? Is the ABC reporter, keep going? These are the Etsy, I don't think I have the photo. It might be at the end, it's all good. The ABC reporter, his name is James Gordon Meek. He debunked Pizzagate, was arrested for pedophilia. There's a journalist, his name is Peter Bright, a.k.a., guess what his alias was? Dr. Pizza. Was convicted for attempting to have sex with a 7 and a 9-year-old and admitted to molesting an 11-year-old, okay? And just recently, this is the one, Sammy, go one more. One more? Well, check this out. Charlie Kirk reported this. The FBI confirmed pizza is a pedophile code word and an affidavit in the College Station, Texas child porn case where Marvin D. Glenn Dosso was arrested and charged with a total of 4 counts of possession of child pornography. The Wall Street Journal confirmed this report earlier this year. And by the way, this is what, look at that. All pizza, all code words for boys and underage sex. And then a a New Mexico Attorney General. By the way, so look at, this is what my point is. Look at this pattern, guys. All this, we're conspiracy theorists. Everybody, what do you talk about? These elites don't do stuff like this. Let's keep going. The New York Mexico Attorney General filed a lawsuit against Meta and Mark Zuckerberg for facilitating child sex trafficking, okay? In that suit, evidence is provided proving that child sex predators use pizza as pedophile code on Instagram. That's why I'm not shocked.
It's a no-brainer. Everybody knew that. The only question is, can you go back and read the first one about we need to find a better place to do this?
Okay, yep, I got you.
Because whether you think it's CP or anything, it's clear they're speaking in code.
It's 100%
about
code.
Something different.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right. So it goes. when we began the pizza arrangement, I thought we were going to be more careful than this. What are you so careful about with pizza? By the way,
Who is this from and to again?
This is
this
Hillary to, I think, the whole group.
Hillary Clinton?
Hillary Clinton. Well, it just says Hillary.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. This is all allegedly. So, and mind you, this is in the emails, and this was proven. They were sending. I think Barack sent $65,000 worth of hot dogs to a party. Now, even if they're gourmet, the best hot dogs, let's say they're $100 each. How many people are you feeding? How many people?
6,500.
At a party. There's no party that they had that many people. So to pretend that they're not speaking in code like you named it, and going back to my original point that I made at the beginning of the show, why are you guys so gullible out there? Why is it so unbelievable that people, because think about it, there's perverted people everywhere. The show To Catch a Predator could literally shoot an episode every day for 1,000,000 years and never cancel because there's no shortage of disgusting pedophile perverts. The only reason it was canceled was why? The guy ran in the house that got caught and shot himself in the head. So to pretend that it's not out there and to even add to the idiocy of, you don't think people of power can be that disgusting and evil when they know they can't get caught? Bro, when you have the law, when you have that much power, your tracks are covered. Even when the emails are leaked, nothing happens because all you have to do is say those two magic words that the FBI created during JFK. Conspiracy theory. You're done. That's it.
You want to get really freaked out?
Let's get it.
Go look at the sex offender registry in your area, and you'll see the pinpoints where they have to.
How many are there? They're disgusting.
Tens of thousands. I mean, it's ridiculous. There was another one from John Podesta. I don't know if you remember this one. It said, "You left a napkin with a map on it.
Yeah, a map.
Would you like me to bring you the napkin with a map on it? Like, as if someone wants."
And you know, map was a keyword.
And map is a keyword as well because it stands for, I believe it stands for minor attracted person. A mother, among other things. It was so obvious, and the harder they come out and say it's a conspiracy theory, the more you know it's true, just like every single other conspiracy theory. And then people say, like, people aren't that evil. It circles all the way back to, whether or not the government would kill its own people for political reasons.
Of course.
The government tested and didn't test syphilis drugs on Americans for decades.
Our soldiers,
They tested on
LSD, everything.
They tested in Canada. They tested on Native children in residential schools, and everyone thinks the government of today is more ethical and like would never do the atrocities. The Japanese government used to do like vivisections, human experimentation during the war, and people think like governments.
They love you.
They're gonna be
they
good.
love you.
Trust them.
Yeah, I mean, who was the female that's associated with this story? Who sent that email? Hillary Clinton?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Sent that email. Married to Bill Clinton. And so is it that hard to make a stretch that these people are perverted and do perverted acts? Bill Clinton is the same person who not only got a blowjob from an intern, so using a position of power I don't want to say force, but using a position of power to encourage a girl to perform a sex act on you. He also watched her masturbate with a cigar while he masturbated himself. She testified to this.
Oh, I know. Oh, it's out there.
Monica Lewinsky masturbated with a cigar while Bill Clinton masturbated watching her do that. Well, Yasser Arafat was kept out of the Oval Office and waiting for a meeting that this was bad. So for you to go, well, how come people can't believe that they're perverted? It's right there in front of them.
Yeah.
That was reported how many years ago? 1998? So what are we, 25 years removed? And people are like, no, that's crazy that people would be that perverted. Meanwhile, masturbating with cigars, that's not perverted.
How does the cigar not dissolve under the fluidity? Like, I've never understood like how it doesn't leak off.
You want to do a Mythbusters and test? No. Somebody in here and do it.
Well, we're going to say something?
Yeah, Vinny, you're going to make a great cellmate at Guantanamo Bay.
Why?
In the gulags.
In the gulags. We're all going to be together there. But you know what worries me? Is that people are putting down payments on pizza. Like, if inflation keeps on going this way, non-demons will have to put down payments on pizza.
That's so funny.
Everything is getting so expensive.
That's so freaking funny.
But it's just you go through the list of that who's who of perverts. Anthony Weiner with the sexting. Then you go to Hollywood who are very connected to politicians, where you know that it's going on. I mean, and the best kept secrets of all time, like child molestation, sexual depravity, sexual exploitation, and somehow the government can't. It's a conspiracy theory to think that it happened. Something's going on in those emails, and
100%.
it's clear as day.
And well, guess what? It's not. And I want to show this. So Sammy, get ready to show these tweets. You know Chrissy Teigen, who a couple years ago had to delete 60,000. So, and mind you, I'm saying just disgusting things said about children.
60,000.
60,000 she deleted because
Tweets?
people are coming after her. And by the way, these are actual tweets. She wrote this. I know it's a long time ago, but guess what? Zero accountability. Seeing little girls do the splits half naked is just, I want to put myself in jail. Now, everybody stop. How do you take that? And hold on, because everybody just jumps around and people, Toddlers and Tiaras, that's a show of little girls dancing and doing whatever. That right there is disgusting. I just want to, what do you want to put yourself in jail for?
Well, and I think Toddlers and Tiaras was a show
Little
about
girls dancing
competing in.
Yeah, and they're basically in bikinis and stuff.
Yeah, and which is already disgusting. Why are we having beauty pageants for
I
girls?
agree 100%.
And what do you mean jail? We need a wood chipper here.
Yeah, no shit.
So, but just to put it in context, she's 38 now, so she was 26 when she wrote.
Oh yeah,
that
she's
tweet.
still an adult. Ready for this?
Not that it'll make a difference. If
Yeah,
you're
go to the
18,
next
it would
one,
still
Sam.
be scary.
Sam, go to the next one. Christy T, I'm bored. Really want to watch kids give birth. Where can I watch teens giving birth? MTV? I mean, that doesn't make sense, but I'll try. Okay.
I could forgive that one. Maybe she meant I love the teen mom show.
Oh, well, okay, next. I just saw a baby that looked like a porn star. Like a trashy, do-anything porn star. Is this wrong to think?
If she's what? I mean, if it's a critical, you can read that in that she's being critical of the toddlers and tiara and saying like, these kids are just. But
I'm going to jail over. And by the way,
was she famous at this point where she's putting these tweets out?
no, yeah, of course she was. At 26 years old, of course. And look, I'm just saying, like, look, I'm going to jail over pizza. Whatever. Go. Next.
That one.
And that was, okay, but reading this though. So a Texas, this was, Rob, it's crazy because this is what's coming in January too. A Texas federal judge has ordered the FBI to disclose evidence on slain DNC staffer Seth Rich. Do you guys know who Seth Rich is?
Yes, Seth Rich is the one who allegedly was behind the disclosure of the emails. They blamed it on a Russian hack that never happened.
It wasn't a Russian hack.
And then Seth Rich gets shot twice in the back or once in the back at 4 in, D.C. in a botched robbery where they don't take a cell, phone, or wallet.
So, and guys, and again, coincidence that happens from a guy that apparently leaked everything to the WikiLeaks, right? The deadline, January 11th, 2024. Dude, next month is going to be filled with fireworks. He's most likely the hero who leaked the Podesta emails to WikiLeaks. And then, bro, the other day, did you guys see Elon Musk posted a Pizzagate spotlight on Pizzagate to 160 million followers? Everybody went nuts. They went nuts, and he had to take it down.
I wanted to get there. Like I try to be funny about this thing, so that like it upsets me so much that this is my coping mechanism because I don't think there's punishment big enough for these people.
Me neither.
And talking about
I think it's
Musk,
disgusting.
who's clearly watching the show. Like,
yeah, obviously he's watching.
We can't do everything that we would do to these people, but we can start small. I think X needs to step up their game to take all this content down. There's no clear way to report and put this content out of X, okay?
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I saw a Twitter thread that someone was trying to report a guy that was posting this type of content. And the only way to report these demons is to go into their profile to report them. You can't report the guy without going to their profile.
I wouldn't even feel legally comfortable clicking on the link.
Me neither.
That's why
It's on your
but
phone.
I do think they need to be removed. They need to be removed somehow, and they need better methods. There's no clear way in X to report this kind of content. Like, it's crazy. That's crazy talk.
And dude, and I think we spoke about this last week, how people don't even realize what the dark web, like, we're just on Google, DuckDuckGo if you want to be secretive. The amount of stuff on the dark web for underage kids. And bro, I saw.
Which
oh my God,
was created by the CIA.
The CIA started.
The CIA created the dark web. I believe it was for them to communicate with naval vessels that were off the coast. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know that the CIA was the one that created the dark web, and then the dark web became a place where you can funnel children, buy hitmen, buy drugs, weapons,
porn, underage kids, murder. You can see everything. And I didn't send them the link, but I saw a video, and we'll wrap this up after this. I saw a couple of videos, but the one that stuck out the most was a guy approaches a couple of illegals trying to come over the border. They're running towards.
I saw it.
Did you see this? They're coming, and the guy speaks in Spanish. He's like, how do you say where you're from in Spanish?
¿De dónde vienen?
¿Dónde vienen? And he goes, Guatemala. And all the guys look like they're up to no good. Everybody looks sus. They have a baby that's passed out and drugged, in my mind, because he's like, wake up the baby, and the baby can't even stay, bro. Dude, this bothers me. This, you know, Pat's book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely. This is my enemy, bro, and I wish I could do something more to to get to these people. They put the little kid. The kid was maybe 2 years old. It can't say up. He's like, what's the baby's name? It says the baby's name. Like the baby can't co-sign. When was it born? He said the year. What day? What's the number of the year? He had no idea. That's one case. Do you know how many tens of thousands of these sons of bitches are trafficking kids, bringing them, a sponsor takes it, no background check, and they're into this country, and our government does nothing. Well, Biden, Mayorkas, they don't do shit. They encourage it to stay open as if they're getting an influx of votes and little kids for their fucking parties and shit.
Vinny,
I'm telling you.
When you're fleeing for a better place, you take your family. When you're going to war, you leave your family behind.
And you go by yourself.
By yourself. Military-age males, that's what
and
you get.
if you come with a kid in your hand and you don't know it's birthday, guess what? That's not your kid.
That's not your kid.
What are you going to say, Dave?
I was going to say, you got to it. That not only are they not doing anything, they're facilitating it for political reasons, and I would dare say much more nefarious reasons.
I think
the Pizzagate conspiracy. I was going to make a joke that the conspiracy is it's not a Democrat-run pedophile ring. It's just a government-run pedophile ring. Like they'll literally get you on a semantics thing. Like, oh, it's not Democrat. It's all of us.
How is it a joke? It's true.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So it's sinister beyond words. And what's the solution? I'm
with you.
But you know
I know exactly where you're going.
They're getting this type of immigrants,
Well, these are the immigrants that we want. But guys, I had a freaking blast. I hope to God we don't get freaking. we don't get. We don't get banned. But hey, guys,
coming out of this one.
Yeah, it goes good. But guys, out there, this is one of the fastest growing channels at Valuetainment. I can't express how much you guys mean to me, and I'm pretty sure I speak for the group. God bless you guys. Have a fantastic holiday. Be safe, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys after the New Year?
Yes.
After the New Year. Guys, take care of each other. We'll see you guys soon. Peace and love. We're out.